while we continue to fight COVID-19. These two will be inseparable, getting back to work and fighting COVID until there's a medical breakthrough with treatments or a vaccine.
No, for fuck's sake.
And we cannot move forward unless we commit to continuing to slow the spread.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
To achieve that goal, reopening, while continuing to bring the fight every day, I tasked Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito to work with Housing and Economic Development Secretary Mike Keneally to bring together experts from across Massachusetts' diverse economy. They listened and they learned from hundreds of points of view. Local government leaders, nonprofits, labor leaders, and small and large employers, to name just a few. At the same time, Health and Human Services Secretary Mary Lou Sutters and Public Health Commissioner Monica Burrell consulted Massachusetts world-class healthcare leaders, and together, our administration developed this plan to move forward.
Oh, what the? You're not moving forward.
We'll progress through 4 phases, opening more sectors of the economy and activities only when the public health data indicate it's appropriate to do so.
The public health data says it's
Each phase will last
do it now.
At least 3 weeks, but may last longer.
3 weeks.
Public health data doesn't support moving forward.
Oh, the data.
As I said earlier, COVID-19 has and will continue to take a toll here in Massachusetts. It remains up to all of us, government, the employer community, and most of all, the rest of us, as individuals, to continue to fight back against the virus, because that is the way we move forward through these phases. The report lays out
by hiding
which sectors of the economy are slated to open and when, but it lays out how businesses reopen while fighting the spread.
Which one's open, douchebag? Just answer.
Importantly, this report lays out what individuals must do to enable us all to move through these phases.
This is what individuals must do.
This effort will hinge fundamentally on personal responsibility.
Oh, we could have done that from the beginning.
As everyone knows, we're not helpless in this fight. We all have roles to play.
Yeah, we are.
And you have proven time and time again that you can play them.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
We continue to ask everyone to do 4 things. Cover your nose and mouth when you can't distance yourself.
Yeah, I was doing that anyway.
Science is clear. Simple face covering.
Oh, don't sneeze on people.
Incredibly effectively. Wash your hands and wash surfaces often.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea too.
Explanation. Keep your distance. Again, we all know this one by now.
The fuck does that mean?
It's as important today as it's ever been, and more so as we start this reopening process.
I gotta see what these idiots are saying.
The more we stay about 6 feet apart from one another whenever possible, the more we stop the spread.
Read the comments.
And lastly, stay vigilant for symptoms and stay home if you think you're sick. We all know this one by now too. Alone, each of these 4 things can be highly effective at slowing and killing the virus.
Let's see how long till we see a thank you, Charlie.
And makes that much clearer. But together, these 4 things are exponentially
You are doing great. Thanks for keeping us safe.
We are asking the private sector to support their employees, to be creative, to support working remotely whenever possible, and to follow the guidance that our team developed.
You don't have guidance.
Further spread.
What are you talking about? Your guidance is hide.
These critical tasks is everyone's responsibility.
No, it's not. Fuck you.
How well we do them will dictate how well we open Massachusetts. State and local governments will continue to step up testing capabilities alongside our community tracing program.
Oh, tracing,
Testing
good.
And tracing will remain
they can trace me.
Integral to getting ahead of this virus, containing it, and a critical
George Lopez, I like turtles.
To keep the economy moving.
Okay.
As I said before, we have all been doing our jobs to fight back. And as a result,
not me.
Positive case rates are moving in the right direction and hospitalizations are down.
Then why aren't we open?
The public health metrics that guide this process mean it's possible to reopening manufacturing facilities and construction sites
what
effective.
The fuck is manufacturing?
And we're permitting more sectors of our economy to open effective May 25th and others on June 1st.
Which ones?
Under phase 1.
Which one? Oh, it's still phase 1.
Polito will talk more about how this report lays out new rules.
We're still on phase 1.
Each of those industries, and specifically the businesses need and must do in order to reopen while effectively fighting the virus.
Yeah, why doesn't
Steps,
the sign language guy have a mask?
Manufacturing and construction, provided these businesses
or Charlie.
guidance,
Why doesn't he have a mask?
have limited face-to-face.
I had to wear a mask in court when I spoke.
And many similar operations open now under the essential order have been responsibly balancing operating and fighting the virus as well. Starting a week from now, we're permitting office space to reopen to 25% of its capacity.
What's the point?
Except in Boston. On May 25th, retail establishments may also offer curbside service.
Curbside.
And some personal services, such as barbershops and hair salons, may reopen.
Okay, so
provided they follow the new rules in this report.
Why not tomorrow?
Places of worship
today
will also be permitted to open with guidelines in place starting today. A number of outdoor facilities.
Thank you for the First Amendment.
Will also resume starting a week from now, as well as in accordance with those new rules. And our healthcare facilities will be permitted to begin seeing more patients on an agreed upon schedule over the next 2 weeks. I want to make clear
I can see my
that
doctor.
the Opening Advisory Board and the team made every effort to be as clear and direct as possible.
Oh, did you?
To the new requirements these businesses must follow.
You failed massively.
This is something no one's ever done before.
Yeah.
Shutter, then reopen everything.
Because it's un-American.
Beachfront to a factory floor with standards in place to slow the spread of a highly contagious virus. So I ask everyone to keep this in mind. This guidance asks people to change behaviors, and it changes the way some of our favorite places look and feel. This is not permanent. At some point, there will be treatments and ultimately a vaccine.
Oh, vaccine.
But for the foreseeable future,
you're good.
Everyone needs to continue to do the right things to bring the fight to the virus so that we can continue to move forward.
Can you tell people not to wear masks in cars?
Also updated the stay-at-home advisory to reflect this stage of the reopening process. The new Safer at Home advisory instructs everyone to stay home unless they're headed to a newly opened facility or activity. And it also advises those over the age of 65 and those with underlying health conditions to stay home except for absolutely necessary trips. Things like healthcare and groceries.
Probably go over it once, Dad.
This new advisory is important. As we enter this phased reopening, it's important to remember that everyone is safer at home.
Shut the fuck up.
Will be with us throughout the reopening.
The data says otherwise, guys.
And everyone's required to cover their nose and mouth if you can't maintain 6 feet of distance.
Except for you.
Around you.
You don't have to.
Everyone has a responsibility to wash their hands, distance themselves from others, and be vigilant about symptoms so that you can stay home, and you should stay home if you feel sick. How well everyone does these things will determine how well we move into later phases. You've all heard me say that we can't afford to take one step forward only to be forced to take 2 steps back. I know we'd all prefer to believe that the virus is less serious now and that it's behind us.
It is less serious, way less.
It's nice outside.
Yeah.
I understand the weeks feel like months. I think we understand all of this.
I don't think you do.
Collectively, we have flattened the curve and avoided the spike in cases that would have broken our healthcare system.
Jesus Christ, flatten the curve.
But if we don't keep up the fight and don't do the things that we all know we have to do and know we can do, we run the risk of creating a second spike in the fall.
There's gonna be a second spike, idiot.
We've asked a lot of the people of the Commonwealth.
No matter what.
Since this all began. And thankfully, millions and millions of people have answered the call and played their part.
We just delayed the inevitable. That's all we did.
Again,
no waste of time.
Need to be vigilant. They need to be careful. And they need to understand the role that they can play themselves as we continue to bring this fight to the virus. It's how we move forward.
Thank you, Governor Baker, for opening
Turn it over to Lieutenant.
Is up safely. Oh, this is a real person. A well thought out, reasonable plan to open up and keep us safe.
Governor. Good morning.
Thank you for keeping me safe. We are all in this together. Shut the fuck up.
The members of the Reopening Advisory Board.
Here's the actual
On
Karen.
behalf of our entire administration, we are incredibly grateful to all of you and your work. This plan required a tremendous amount of thought
No, it
planning
didn't.
and preparation by the board,
Jesus
and
Christ.
the many hours and days that we worked together. Our process was deep,
Yeah, your donors.
diverse, and consisted of a collective group of voices that engaged in a productive dialogue
Except for small
to lay
businesses.
out this plan.
God, this chick is annoying.
This board consisted of an extremely talented group of dedicated people. And as we met with associations and businesses and residents, the members of the board were engaged and compassionate and ensured a variety of voices
God, they're
were
useless.
listened to and were at that table. Our work also would not have been possible without an extensive municipal engagement from officials at the local level all across our Commonwealth. We are thankful for the direct involvement of the many mayors and town managers who advised us and worked with us. And while we have made clear that the public health data and guidance will dictate the timeline of moving into new phases,
This is so
it is
fucking boring.
important that we continue to listen to and support our businesses across this Commonwealth.
Oh, you want to support the businesses?
Specifically,
How can they do that?
we have established a new restaurant, accommodations, and tourism work group consisting of industry representatives and municipal leaders that we will continue to have discussions with to help us determine the industry-specific protocols for meeting our safety standards. This group will help us
Oh my
shape
God.
the guidance that will allow these industries to reopen. And when the data allows for it, they will do so safely and in mind the need to continue to
Jesus
recognize.
Christ, get the script right.
As the governor said, we will continue to support the business community as they implement the mandatory workplace safety standards for reopening that we announced last week. Businesses operating to
fucking
provide
boring.
essential services will have until May 25th
Essential.
to comply with these mandatory safety standards. Businesses newly opening in phase 1
She literally
must comply with these standards.
is just
before
repeating what
they
he
open.
said.
And as we reopen
I'm
and
about
keep
done with this
fighting
shit.
COVID-19, we are providing 3 areas of guidance.
How did this
for
woman
each
ever get elected
sector,
to anything?
Industry and business to follow.
Jesus Christ.
You've heard us talk about the general social guidance, covering, washing, and distancing.
Fucking Christ.
And for businesses, the mandatory safety standards for their workplace and the sector-specific safety protocols and best
It's literally like Kim.
practices
It's
of
exactly
meeting
the.
those standards.
What's the difference between what they're saying?
The sector-specific guidance and recommended best practices aim to reduce the risk of COVID-19 transmission in specific industries so that each industry safely reopens. Businesses are expected to implement these protocols, and in addition to the general mandatory workplace standards. So the standards and the protocols and the best practices are offered to help businesses comply. Starting
Comply.
today, the materials for the businesses and sectors eligible to open in the first phase
Yeah, she's doing like Heidi
are
said.
included on the Reopen Massachusetts website.
She acts like she's doing us a favor. They don't have any right to shut you down in the first place.
Each sector will have access to a sector circular. It's a document, a resource which will include specific mandatory safety standards and recommended best practices in social distancing, hygiene protocols, staffing and operations, and cleaning and disinfecting for each sector. They will also have access to a sector checklist included in the circular and developed to serve as a guidance for employers and businesses of all sizes as they adjust their operations. The administration will
Peanuts.
require
I'm hungry.
businesses to self-certify. And what that means is that businesses must develop a COVID-19 control plan outlining how its workplace will implement the safety standards.
This is all just
in order
bullshit.
to
I'm about ready.
prevent
I mean,
the
I'm
spread
bored
of
with this already, guys.
COVID-19. These required materials are located on the
I think that's their
Reopen
plan, just
Massachusetts
bore us
website,
to death.
and they include a COVID-19 control
I
plan.
don't understand how people like this got elected. When I was
This is a
teaching
draft.
kids,
You do not need to
if
read
I
this
ever
or
spoke
reopen.
like this to a
is
group of
place
kids,
for you to
I would
start.
lose the
You should
class
use it.
in 5 seconds.
A compliance attestation
I mean,
poster
And this woman can become
Demonstrating to your
lieutenant governor
workforce and the public that you
with the
have
communication
incorporated
skills
these safety standards into your workplace.
of like a
Posters
freaking ant.
show. And signs and posters describing the rules for maintaining social distancing, hygiene protocols,
Yeah,
cleaning
penis.
and
I'm eating
disinfecting.
penis.
Again, businesses in phase one must complete these steps in order to open. And essential businesses
God.
that have been operating
What's essential?
will be required to complete these steps by May 25th.
So they haven't had a, what?
These workplace safety standards will be jointly enforced by local boards of health, the Department of Public Health, and the Department of Labor Standards. We will work together with our partners at the
M-Job
local
says,
level to move
I feel like I'm
forward
listening
during
to
this
the Iranian
process.
chick listening
Most enforcement
to the
actions
demands of the
may come
Ayatollah
from
during
a
the
worker
hostage crisis.
or a customer who might initiate a
It's true.
complaint. But the goal with enforcement is to educate.
Maybe I am eating
compliance.
penis, Laura. Okay?
More
Mind your own
workplaces
business.
to be safer and to incorporate these standards into their places of operation. And working with cities and towns, we will support our businesses and give them the tools they need to succeed as they make adjustments and welcome back their workers. And as we continue to move forward towards a new normal, we'll
Oh,
continue
God,
to
new
post
normal.
the guidance for sectors opening in later phases online and in advance. So as businesses in this time
Oh, I see turtle emojis going by.
can prepare
There's George.
and plan for when that time comes. Governor Baker outlined what we can expect to see.
How
in
many people are
phases.
saying,
And it's important.
thank
that we
you for
continue
keeping
to
us
each
safe?
Play our part and be cautious and careful as we together work to reopen so that we can.
a lot of angry people here at
move
least.
and
There's
not
George again.
backwards. We will continue to follow the data to make determinations of gathering sizes, restrictions, and capacity limitations based upon the trends. And we know that many of our homegrown businesses in every corner of our state are suffering. We want to get everyone back up and running
No, you don't.
when it's appropriate to do so.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
based
It was
on the
appropriate
public
5
health
weeks ago.
metrics outlined today. And it bears repeating that Massachusetts has been one of the hardest hit states in
Yeah.
our country.
So you failed.
Right behind
you
New York
failed.
and New Jersey. And we must be
Why,
cautious.
why do they act like that's something to
as we reopen.
brag about? You failed.
As I mentioned about planning and preparing, our restaurant, accommodations, and tourism work group convened this past weekend, and we will help them develop procedures for safe reopening. And campgrounds and playgrounds and community pools, athletic fields, and youth sports will resume operations in phase 2 with guidelines.
When's that?
We currently plan that phase 3 will allow for the opening of arts and entertainment, gyms, and other business activities.
That's phase 2.
This
Gyms.
will all push us toward phase 4, a full resumption of activity, and what we've described
Phase
as
4.
a new normal.
Profit.
If your business is listed in phase 2 or phase 3, in order to start working on your reopening plans,
They don't
now
know
you
what
can
they're
visit
listed
the
in.
website, the Reopen Massachusetts
You haven't told
website,
anybody.
to access the general workplace safety standards that all businesses are required to comply with. So you can get a head start and look at those and start to think about how you will adjust your workplace. Now, a couple of key components that
Oh.
transcend all of this are childcare and public transportation.
Okay, let's talk about that.
In March, we stood up an emergency childcare system to support children of essential workers.
Oh,
and
the special
vulnerable
children.
families
Okay.
with extra virus mitigation protocols.
Okay.
We are incredibly grateful to those providers who have stepped forward
Who stepped
in the
forward?
midst of this crisis to provide these essential childcare services.
Also known as got to keep their
children and
business
families.
open. Also known
Now,
as.
during phase 1, the emergency childcare system we've already in place will be utilized to meet the needs of people with no alternative for care. We are also encouraging families to continue
We're gonna eat
to
so many
find
peanuts
any
today.
alternatives to group care to help stem the spread of the virus. Now, currently, only 35% of our emergency childcare capacity is occupied, and the system has capacity
Bitch, you got open
to
spots?
serve more families, to provide care options as more workers head back to work and sectors become active again.
What about bloggers?
The system we established, as you may recall, has capacity for
Honey roasted, man.
10,000
Gotta go honey roasted.
statewide, and we're at 35%
Delicious.
capacity today.
It's like
As next steps, the Department of
Walmart
Early
brand,
Education
too.
Care
It's good.
and DPH are developing additional health and safety standards, which are being reviewed by Children's Hospital to make sure when we're ready to fully reopen childcare and camps that we're ready. We'll have more to say on that as we prepare for the future phases. Now, in that same vein, we are aware that summer camps serve an important purpose.
Okay.
Not only for our children, but for our families. DPH is partnering with local boards of health to develop health guidelines to be implemented in over 1,400 camps across our state to enable a safe reopening of those activities.
They're having summer camp?
Pending public health data, it is possible that camps could reopen in phase 2.
Possible.
Limitations.
Possible.
Specific safety standards in line with CDC guidance. That should be.
Yeah, let's all move to
available
Georgia,
in the
guys.
next
That's like the
couple of
best
weeks,
fucking state.
Timelines and the guidelines that we apply.
Yeah. SEC
Now,
football.
at Transit, we know
You still be a
how
Patriots fan
important
down
public
there.
transportation is for the day-to-day lives of workers and families. The MBTA has been.
Oh, nice. We're over 100 at 11
implementing
o'clock.
Measures to slow the spread of COVID-19 across the system. We cannot significantly reduce the risk of transmission across the system without the cooperation of customers and the employer community. Riders are required to wear face coverings and must make efforts to distance. Employers are encouraged to stagger schedules and implement work from home policies to reduce demand during rush hours.
What the hell does that mean?
Moving forward, to mitigate risk while providing appropriate levels of service, the MBTA will do the following.
Aaliyah, it's your friend, Karen.
Support the transit needs of essential workers.
I know you don't
those
really know her.
returning to the workplace while continuing with limited service to maximize employee and rider safety. Ramp up to a modified version of full service by phase 3. The T will also frequently disinfect and clean vehicles and stations and provide protective supplies.
Oh, it's Diane Woods Emerson's birthday?
The T will also
Happy birthday,
actively
Diane.
communicate public health
We love you.
guidance and schedule adjustments in station, online, and over social media.
Yeah, no more fun of any kind, right?
Before I turn it over to Secretary Keneally, I just want to say
Oh, God.
that today, as we move forward in implementing this plan
To our
for
new normal.
reopening, I am confident in everyone's ability to play their role. Individuals and businesses, everyone must do their part. Following through on the measures we are developing in the private sector's responsibility, and individuals, everyone has to do their part.
Comments.
The next few weeks are really important to make sure, as the governor said, we are vigilant, we're cautious, and doing our part. And together with state and local government, supporting businesses and
They're getting
helping them
ripped.
incorporate
It's nice
the
to see.
workplace safety standards in each step of the way, the Commonwealth can stay ahead of this virus and safely and successfully reopen Massachusetts.
Oh,
And as we balance the shared goals
Jesus,
of
shut
maintaining
the
both
fuck up.
public
Why are you still
safety
talking?
as well as activating our economy, we are faced with a new challenge of
What's that?
living with the virus.
Oh, yeah.
Our roadmap provides us with a plan.
Luckily,
and
it doesn't kill
direction
most
point
people, so
to get started.
you're good.
The saying that tough times never last, tough people do,
Oh,
is
shit.
never more appropriate than
I
now.
wish she's still talking.
The people of Massachusetts are strong. We're resilient.
Oh, we're so strong.
Come through tough times before.
Oh, yeah, we hide in our homes.
Come
We're so
through
strong
this tough time
from a fucking virus.
again.
We're so strong.
We will
Boston's strong.
continue to fight this battle, and we will get through this together. I now want to.
You know
turn
who's
it over to
stronger than us?
Secretary
People in
Keneally.
Georgia who aren't
I
afraid to
wish
go
thank
outside.
you and the HED staff and the LG staff for amazing focus, your strength and leadership, for keeping us on task, for meeting this.
I gave myself a haircut, and it's not
been
pretty.
a real honor to work with you on this
Look at
very,
that.
very important development of a plan, but more so.
I still don't know when
balance the
barbershops are
safety
opening.
and the needs of the
That was
business
not made
community.
clear.
With that, Secretary Keneally.
Okay, some other idiot without a mask. See, they walk right by each other. Those two.
Well, good morning and thank you, Governor and Lieutenant Governor.
No mask on either one. They
I feel
breathed all
honored
over
as
each
well.
other.
And our
Hypocrites.
teams really stepped up, didn't they? In the last few months, we've dealt with a new economic reality in our state, in our country,
Yeah.
and around the world.
1 million
And the
unemployed.
many communities, businesses, and people that make up our economy have suffered. But we are confident today.
May 25th,
that we
they
can work
said?
together to
It's
get on our
definite?
feet again. Now, about 3 weeks ago, the governor announced the formation of the Reopening Advisory Board, co-chaired by myself and the Lieutenant Governor, and made up of 17 leaders in healthcare, business, and municipal government. We've spent the last 3 weeks meeting and collaborating
Okay, I'm
with more
bored.
than
I don't even want to
75
hear this
business
guy.
associations, labor unions, nonprofits, and community coalitions
What the
that
fuck you talking-
collectively represent more than 112,000 businesses
These people are
and more
all
than 2 million employees.
being paid right now.
We also considered more than 4,600 pieces of written feedback. We engaged stakeholders.
Thank you, Sue. Appreciate
And
that.
analyzed information in over 45 hours of Zoom meetings.
Zoom meetings. Okay. It's fucking being. I don't know what's going on here. What is happening right now?
If you look at this list, I think it's just an amazing.
All right, guys. I've had enough of this. I'm going to log out.
I'm
But
so grateful.
they're not
to
going
all
to say
these
anything
folks.
else worth listening to anyway.
And,
But
we're so mindful always of the great sacrifices that businesses have made during this pandemic.
oh yeah,
As we reopen
voluntarily.
Massachusetts, we'll look to our
They have much of a
companies,
choice.
large and small, to be partners in reducing the spread of COVID-19
Okay.
in workplaces.
Okay, I can't do it
And
anymore.
this
All right,
commitment
guys.
will
I'm
be
logging out.
absolutely essential as
But,
we move through
We'll see you
all
guys
4
tomorrow night
phases
for the
of
live
reopening.
show because they're not
I
going
wanna
to say shit
highlight
here.
a
It's
few
boring as
things,
hell. It's
in
exactly what
particular here.
it is. Boris to sleep.
First and foremost, if
Barbershop's
businesses
going to
are
open Memorial Day. That's all
we
you need to know.
strongly encourage you to have your employees
That's good, I guess.
continue to work
But
from home.
begging for scraps,
And this
basically.
is,
Thank you,
incredibly
sir,
important
for
to
letting
the
me get my hair
reopening plan
cut.
because
Shut up.
reducing
You had
the
no right
number
to
of
tell me not to
employees
get my
the
hair cut in the
workplace
first place.
reduces the risk of COVID-19
All right.
transmission.
Peace, guys. I'm
It will
out.
help reduce
It's
the
enough
number
for
of
one day.
employees that need to utilize public transit and childcare.